Cool. Okay. What's up, everyone? Happy Thursday evening right here. Hope everyone's doing great. Got my man Drew here with me. So if you're watching this the replay or you're here with us live, make sure you follow Drew on Twitter and Instagram. Right there. Actually forgot. I know it's been a new thing as this year, but it has been a little while at this point. Right there. But for anyone who might not be familiar, Drew, you want to kind of let the stream know, who you are, what your deal is, that kind of stuff?
Yeah. So Amazon seller, obviously. I do only OA to a prep center, mostly FBA. And I do about $2 million a year. Sold probably combined $5 million in the last three and a half years. And that's about it for me.
Cool. Boom. There we go. And so Drew has what a lot of you guys are looking to do, right? So he has and similar to myself, right? 7-figure remote OA operation. We got prep centers. We got a little virtual assistant action right there. You basically the way I see it is like you kind of design like your ideal work life and used Amazon as that vehicle.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, OA wise, I'm probably only working, 2 to 3 hours a day on that stuff. So yeah.
Exactly. And that just obviously takes a while. You need to build the skill, you need to get some experience and everything. But how do you overall like get into Amazon stuff? Because I know it's a cool story. I like it takes us back to the really good old days and everything. But how'd you get into this stuff?
Yeah, so I grew up kind of like selling shoes, that type of thing. And I was kind of in that whole sphere on Twitter. And then when COVID happened, I just noticed all these people making all the money, like selling like weights and things like that. Kind of like transitioned to that. And then that built me enough capital in like 8 months to just like start Amazon with a ton of capital going in. So it just turned really quick. And there was all those products, shortages, all those things that just like went fast.
Yeah, basically. So for anyone who might not be familiar, COVID was like a completely goated era of reselling, basically because there were all these shortages of products, right? And people didn't want to go out to like their community pool. So all these like inflatable pools, like the market completely popped off. It's honestly kind of disgusting if you go look at some of the Keep It charts and scroll back to like 2020 and 2021, you could see like it was like 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, and then like 2022, 2023. It's pretty funny. Right there. So cool, guys. So yeah, if you guys got any questions for either of us, let us know. We got some of the regulars in here. We got my man Aaron in here. What up, Sadiq, Prodigy, Gene? Good to see you in here as well. Patty's World holding down up in Canada, right there as well. So, have you changed anything in the last couple months, or are you kind of just keeping it the same, like new virtual assistants, anything like that, new stuff you've been figuring out OA wise?
Yeah, I don't remember the last time we talked, but I think I talked a lot about how I go deeper on some of these better deals at times. And I think in the past, I've never really done that. Like my going deep is like 50 to 100 units. And I would always like spread things out really far. And I switched that up a few months ago. And I've noticed that it hasn't worked out as well for me because I'm sitting on like buys that I thought were good, but ended up being bad. So right now I'm trying to get back to like what I've done, like what I've like did the whole time is just like finding new stuff all the time, going my kind of deep on deals and things like that, and then just like pushing it from there. Because, I think I shifted my mind a little bit and just noticed the downtick in like profits. I'm like, well, this isn't working clearly.
Well, it's tough just with the elongated cash flow cycle of like prep center and FBA, which is obviously ideal in terms of like just a like lifestyle choice in terms of optimizing for that. You do sacrifice some of the flexibility and like kind of the nimbleness that, a newer seller with some FBM might, be able to get involved with.
Exactly. Yeah. I see you pushing the FBM. If I had that option, I mean, like people can buy products right now and in 5 days sell the product literally from like, if you find something on this within 5 days, you can get a sale. If I find something, I'm probably not selling that for like 6 weeks, depending on like what prep center it goes to and how slow it gets out and how slow. So it's just tough because it's tough to like adjust to that. But the FBM stuff is just really quick. And I'm trying to get an East Coast prep center situation that's a little quicker. So we'll see.
Well, yeah. So for anyone, basically, if you guys live on the East Coast or if you're looking to get a prep center set up, you have a big advantage being on the East Coast just because your products go to the East Coast warehouses, which just generally are superior. Like the I guess kind of geography of like the Eastern Seaboard is more compressed and everything too.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
I always wondered why it was not as good on the West Coast. And I think, it must be geography. Yeah, it's just everything's quicker, like closer together.
Well, yeah, right. So Charlotte's a big warehouse. Memphis is kind of East Coast. And then Pennsylvania and New Jersey are the other two big ones. But like those warehouses get so much product because it's like, Charlotte, couple cities in Virginia, DC, Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York, Boston. It's like there's such a higher population density, basically, that those warehouses gobble up products. So product on the East Coast gets a lot more buy box share just because algorithmically it shows to people a lot more. Basically.
Yep.
Cool. Okay, sweet. So how did Drew teach himself to source? Okay, so this is obviously a long process right there, but how we learned to source back in the day?
Back in the day, yeah, I just found some people and talked to them like a lot. You know, that one thing I saw Mr. Beast talk about for like the first 3 years of him doing this, he just got on calls with people. That was kind of how I did. I found someone and just like got on calls with them all the time. And then I would try to like just network out and learn new things. And then obviously joining like I've joined every group on the internet. Like I joined them all and I would try to pick things up. Like if you guys have Discord, if you're using Discord, if you go to any group that you join and just search, maybe you see somebody you like what they're saying, you saw them on a podcast, whatever. Maybe I'm in a group that you're in. Search my name up or search somebody's name up and read every message they've ever sent. Like you literally could like build yourself your own thing there of just all the knowledge they drop. So I would just like go through every message these guys sent and learn a bunch of stuff. And then you just have to apply it and you just learn.
Yeah, because when you're new with this stuff, right, everyone comes into it completely fresh and knows nothing because there's no formal education about it. So how would you know, right? Naturally, it's a very like kind of weird thing. Really, any kind of make money online is like that. But definitely like the big thing, it's like exactly like Mr. Beast talks about, like you're talking about, like I'm talking about, like finding people that are on the same mission and then solving problems together. It is completely biological too. It's like the fish in the ocean, they swim around and hunt together, right? The animals in the animal kingdom, they hunt together. Amazon sellers, as crazy as some of us are, right there, you need to treat that the same way, the same cadence right there. Okay, what are some good toys, good sites for toys for Q4? So Chris, I wouldn't be trying to think of like what's a good website. It makes a lot more sense to find good products already on Amazon via reverse sourcing and via Keep a Product Finder, and then Googling those products with SellerAmp to see where those items are carried. And then that's going to show you what the good websites are. And then it's on you to figure out what websites or when these websites offer discounts, which hint, hint, it's today. I can guarantee you that. And just Black Friday, it's Christmas as well right there. But don't really focus on manual sourcing when you're a beginner, I think, because it's a lot harder when you kind of don't know what to look for yet.
100%. And on the toy thing, I think a lot of people think I'm going to just find some perfect toy and I'm going to make a bunch of money for it in Q4 or like December. And that could happen. You can make money off the toys like that. But what you should really be looking at is toys that historically do not even great, just decent. They go out of stock in December, and if they're on sale now. So at least if you end up like having to break even on those toys, that you've got them for a low buy cost, and you're not, buying something for 20 and praying for 40. You're buying something that's discounted to 10 that you're just hoping to go 30 to 40.
Sweet. Yeah, here's some sauce on that too. So we might even have to do a live example of this, but okay. So if you go on Amazon and search like Hot Wheels, Barbie, etc., with the keyword Amazon exclusive, you're gonna find products that are only sold by Amazon. That's what an Amazon exclusive is, right? So say you open up, you take maybe 30 minutes, you open up 100 of those items, you go back on Keepa, you go to the year-long chart, you find what went to the moon last year, aka Amazon sold out. Right there. So what you can do is you can think of sourcing that item, but what you can also do is then go on Keepa and go data, buy box statistics, filter to the 365, filter to the highest price. You can see who has the really big brain that sold it at the most expensive right there. And then you can storefront stock those people to figure out, okay, what are those people stocking up on now to take advantage of this year? Because those are the really smart people that took advantage of. And you can do that with, doesn't have to just be Amazon to Amazon stuff too.
And one more thing on the toys, because that was good as well. This if you just literally use Google best toys of 2022, read every article you can, best toys of 2021, and usually those articles, they're all based off the same thing. So you'll see some stuff where it's like bigger toys, like dollhouses and things like that. That's going to be difficult. But if you go to other ones where it's a lot of the same small toys, if one of them hits, that whole article might just be filled with like hot reselling toys, especially ones that say these are going to sell out in Q4 when it was like last year or the year before. Just look at those toys.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the Cocoa Melon item because I want to show an example of that. But that is a fantastic recommendation as well. Let's see. Is this the one I want? Right here. Okay. Boom. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Okay. So every year, guys, there's like a toy of the year basically. In 2020. It was the Cocoa Melons, right? So like look at the absolute stratospheric rise of these in Q4 of 2020 right there. So yeah, that's November 2020 right there. They were literally $88 when 4 months prior they were 20, and then they're legitimately $15 on Amazon right now, right? And you guys can see these low key went to the moon in 2021 as well, right there. But obviously this is not a good product to look at. But there's lots of toys that happen like this every year. So you just got to be like cognizant and ready to go after them. Basically.
Where that toy's dropped, I mean, Cocomelon's still a hot show, so I'd recommend really put alerts on to see when Amazon goes out of stock. I mean, you can just look at your track product, go to Pro. You can figure out some way to do that, but see when Amazon goes out of stock. And if they start chopping, like maybe they go out of stock a little bit now and go out a little bit of stock, that what he just showed might end up being like decent, especially at a $15 buy cost. Like if it can sell for 80, like what if it sells again like that? Maybe they haven't gauged demand because they obviously gauged it better last year. It's all type of the stuff you have to think about.
Yeah, while we're on the sauce of toys, so that same exact thing, right? It's just go to the buy box stats and you can find all those people that ate on that item too. For example, another good idea is to look up Lego 2021 winter line right there, because Legos have a 2-year life cycle, right? So even if you just like got a lot of capital and want to like park some money and make like 20% over 6 months, like guaranteed, basically, pretty much guaranteed. So you can find what Legos are going to be expiring this year, so that, and then you can see if Amazon's going out of stock in the past or if they start to be choppy in and out of stock, and be able to take advantage of those. I've actually made a decent amount of money Lego investing over the years too. Right. Okay, how would you pack multiple pack chips FBA? So that's tough, man, because that's very, very fragile. So it's going to be tough. I think probably bubble wrap would be the way, but it's going to be very difficult to sell multiple packs of chips FBA just because they're going to get tossed around a lot. And I don't know. I mean, I don't really care if chips come in. Like, I don't really eat chips, all messed up, but like, it's going to be very tough to like kind of sell those econ basically.
If they have air in them, so if they bust, you would probably get a refund. So I wouldn't even try that unless you're going to do a box FBM. That sounds better.
Well, there we go. I was just going to bring that up. Box FBM. And what's nice too is that's actually a rare example of a bigger item that you wouldn't have to fraud label to be profitable FBM too. Because it weighed, just because it weighed right there. And basically, if anyone is seeing these TikToks of people selling prime hydration stuff, FBM, you can't really do that legally just because the shipping's too expensive. So that's why a lot of those listings are full of FBM people that are doing, we'll lightly call it fraud labels, basically.
Yeah, I mean, if you get some message on Instagram for somebody, they can give you $3 USPS labels, like from the government. They've got some kind of deal with the federal government. Yeah, that's not legit. Surprise.
The guy in West Africa. Okay, so guys, setting up a catch-all email is a little bit confusing now because Google Domains sold to Squarespace, which is kind of bizarre to even think about, right? I've no like that makes no sense. But yeah, like what you're gonna want to do now, guys, is set up a catch-all using Namecheap right there. So I'll kind of just link like the search basically. I'm sure one of these tutorials works. Ideally, the more recent right there, but you're gonna want to use Namecheap to set up a catch-all these days.
Yeah, I just had to build a website and I bought it through Google Domains, and then now it was like Squarespace. I guess it was happening during the same day, and I'm like, what is going on here? It makes it way more difficult.
Sure. Right there. Do you have separate? Yes. Yeah, definitely. Yes, absolutely. Right there. So yeah, it's just kind of like, I have no idea why that happened, but it just did basically. For anyone who's unfamiliar with what a catch-all email is, basically, if you go to Dick's Sporting Goods, dickssportinggoods.com, scroll down, bottom left of the website, you'll see a 10% off email signup code. A catch-all, which is catch ALL, it's all one word, is what lets you loop unlimited of those. Basically, it's really easy. It's simple to set up and kind of understand. Basically, you just want to use Namecheap for that. It used to be a Google Domains thing.
Namecheap's easy though. Super.
Oh, cool. Is that how you? Okay, cool. Even better. Yeah, because I know it was like back in the day. So I set mine up like 2.5 years ago, and it was like kind of a pain. But luckily, that shit, I only had to fix it like twice in 2 years, so it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, my first one was with Namecheap because I was into drop shipping and stuff, so I knew you could already do that.
Well, so you were Amazon drop shipping back in the day.
No, I was just drop shipping like on Shopify. I would build a store like every winter from like 2014 into like 20.
Oh, that's there's all these winning tendencies that you see in kids. You know what I mean? That you can just see it so easily, right? That like the candy at school, the sneaker kid's the big thing. Like the sneaker kid, like you're either ending up in jail or you're ending up rich. Like period. Right there. This is very true. Because the problem is, like, there's a natural evolution as a lot of like sneaker kids ended up selling drugs or getting into illegal ways of making money and stuff, unfortunately.
Well, it's risk taking. You have it's definitely genetic. You just have a high risk taking gene. Like all the stuff we're even doing is pretty high risk. So it's like, obviously those kids are going to go in successful or to jail, like you said.
Well, true. Very, very true. Okay, Pickle Rick, what were you saying? Right there. And keep the questions coming, ladies and gents, too. What other Q4 sauce can we put the people onto? I think one thing, definitely, we can even go back and forth. So one thing all you guys should be doing is you should have spreadsheets set up within SellerAmp, specifically like Q4, almost good, out of stock. So anytime you find leads that fit these criteria, like it's out of stock, but it's profitable, or it went to the moon last December, you can just one-click export that stuff out and build a huge database of products right there.
Yeah. Another thing on the Q4 stuff is just because something doesn't seem like a home run, if you get it at a good discount and it just a little bit might do well, buy 3, buy 5 units, buy 7. And if you plan on doing this long term, you're going to have that data for next year. Like there's going to be a lot of stuff that I look at last year that maybe I only sold 5, but it just is a free lead because of that. So yeah.
Yeah, another underrated thing that you pick up on over time is you start to be able to source so quick because you have a general idea of what stuff should be selling for right there, which you kind of don't really see till you kind of see right there. But it is a nice thing you pick up on over time.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. When does FBM start to heat up in Q4 and how long does it last? So I got dudes printing at Wealth FBM as we speak right there. But the closer we get to December, the more and more slowly, like it's like right now, let's call it, I don't know, of stuff that's profitable that you'll find maybe 30% of it. Would you realistically be able to get a decent amount of FBM buy box share? And it depends on competition, whatever, 20 to 30%. Black Friday, it's like 50%. And then like December 5th hits and it's like 80% immediately right there. So basically it's like, it's already going, but it's not going to be like a mainstream thing until December. And then you'll see, guys, I promise you, the same thing happened back to school. You're going to be some completely disrespectful, crazy 300%, 200%, 150% month over month growth from people. And it's all due to like latching on to great FBM items and squeezing them to the moon.
Yep. The volume's unreal. Like whatever, if anybody's new and they haven't had a Q4 yet or a December specifically, that December 5th through December 15th, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, those are the best days of the year, definitely. And if you have a 9 to 5, like that's when you should take off if you can. Ideally weighted towards the front end of that, basically. But at the end of the day, like you guys will see the momentum, and like if this is important to you, you'll be fulfilling those damn orders right there. Like it's crazy what the human spirit can do with the right incentives and motivations.
Yeah, you just get into a flow too. Like I don't FBM all year, and I know there'll be like one item that I end up just packing all day, and I'm like, what am I even doing? But it just happens. You just get in the flow.
Yeah, well, I mean, you think of like, did you have jobs like as a teenager?
No, not really. I only worked like 2 jobs in my life.
Really? So I've had, let's see. So I did one, and I don't know. I just like to think they weren't even bad jobs, man. Honestly, I didn't really mind. But like you think of like how little money you used to make, it just like there's little parts of you that are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I can just go do, you know what I mean? Like 100 days worth of that this week, and stuff where it's just easy. And once you've done this for a while, you have a lot of confidence and conviction and stuff that you can just like, you get in a nice like flow of momentum.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Eddie, glad to see you got the ungates done, my man. Good to hear. RA video is fire. Yeah, the editor did a great job on that. Should I save some cash for Black Friday? It kind of depends, honestly, where you're at in the journey stuff. Right there. Like if you've been at it for a while and you're seeing the results you want to, absolutely save cash. But if you're newer right now, it doesn't make sense to really save cash because what you're hunting for is proof of concept, momentum, and feedback, which you'll get much better right now just being in the mix, even if you sacrifice a little bit of profit in the short term. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I think if you're new specifically, like there's a good chance that you're not even going to be able to take advantage of it like you thought you would. So it's better for you to just work every day instead of being like, well, I'm going to just do way better this day. Because it's not like money's just falling from the sky Black Friday. You'll just find better deals if you're good at finding deals in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what's nice is right now, guys, Prime Day was yesterday, right? It's basically a lot of these sales are still going on, which is awesome. So everyone should be sourcing tonight because some of them end tonight. And you guys should all be sourcing tomorrow. I'm going to be dropping a sourcing video for you guys tomorrow too. Right there. But yeah, it's pretty easy right now. So you gotta take advantage of it while it's here. It is honestly like crazy. Like I was in a coaching call this morning, and I went through like 7 different loops, and typically there's like a loop or 2 going on. Right now is like I couldn't even talk to this dude quick enough. Basically. Holy crap, man. I got 780 products ungated with the auto ungating list. That's incredible, Kendra. That's actually a really good ratio too. Right there. If anyone wants to get ungated and a bunch of stuff automatically today, go to the link in the description, do the auto ungates right there, and you will be very, very good. Oh, see now our homies in college, man, they got it tough though. They got finals week and FBM wars. But luckily, one of those things makes you money and one doesn't.
And both can be outsourced. So
That's right there.
you can figure out how to cheat on your finals or pay a friend to pack your orders. So either way.
And what's clutch too, man, is that you actually don't even really need to source that much during December if you're doing what you should be, like at all, like literally at all.
I never do. Yeah, you're just packing if you're FBMing. If not, you're just sitting there watching the number go up. Yeah, I don't source much at all in December.
Yeah, and then what's nice is it's another big misconception, and you guys will hear me say this a ton the next couple months because it's just so applicable. Like the majority of your money is going to be made, especially with like FBM systems in place, on like 5 to 20 ASINs, not like 50 or 100 like a lot of you guys think, right? You're going to get the majority of your output from, a small percentage of your inputs basically, but the key is testing now as much as possible so you can figure out what opportunities are worth going after.
100%.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is a good point, Jacob. So if Target has 3% on Rectin, but a discounted gift card gets you 5%, obviously go with the gift card. Yes, also because the gift card technically pays out instantly because you lock in that margin immediately. There's no risk that it goes away, that kind of stuff. Okay, you ever do any RA? Oh, well, you had to back in the day.
Yeah, but I didn't do typical RA. I just like got it from like pools and stuff. But I did a little bit of RA at like Marshalls, TJ Maxx, that type of thing. Walmart a little bit. That's just a grind though. But you should do it. RA, FBM. If you're starting, that is how you make money. Like 100%. That you can make way more money doing that and not even do OA if you just want to RA all day. Like that can make you so much money. But it's a grind. It really is. And
you'll learn a ton too. But so like you can learn with RA and you should learn with OA too. And then OA is going to be definitely the play long term. But best places, by far, not even close, Nike, Adidas, outlets right there. You might not have those close to you. Or you might live in Orlando, Florida, or New Jersey, or Pennsylvania and have them all over, Eastern Pennsylvania specifically. Okay. 9 to 5 should take off. Yeah, December 5th to the 15th is the best days. So whenever you can in there is when you're going to see the best results. But honestly, with the types of sales you should be seeing, like you'll be excited to like wake up early or stay up late to fulfill stuff.
Yep. Okay.
Sourcing right now, 5th attempt. Cool. When are you? FBM for the win. Yeah, my dog Mark's killing it. To do some RA advice. It's tough, you know what I mean? Just because like the big advice is scan as much stuff as possible because that's how you learn, right? The advanced advice is like, okay, talk to the employees, figure out what they recently put out, ask if anyone is scanning stuff recently, what they take a lot of, what they not take a lot of, right? But the big thing is just scan a lot.
And go to somewhere that I've said this recently. If you are big into supplements and pre-workout and that stuff, like go to your local supplement shops and see if they have sales. Like you're just going to be more motivated because you're going to know the prices and you probably already know more about that stuff than we do because you just already know it. So go to stores that you already know and just scan that stuff because if you already shop there, you already know the prices, you're going to do better.
Oh, I completely agree. Yeah, it's the same way with me with shoes back in the day. Like that made everything easier.
100% was all doing shoes and we already knew what they were priced at. So you really didn't even have to scan stuff if you really didn't have to. If you see a discount big enough, it's going to make money. Yeah, and the tough part was way back in the day, like selling shoes the traditional way, eBay, StockX, you have so much less data than you do with Amazon too. So it was way more shooting in the dark than we get to these days with Amazon. There's way better data with Amazon. Okay, this is a good one. How do you work through variations in retail arbitrage? So, Mark, you're going to use, obviously, the SellerAmp app. You just scan stuff. Everything that you see on the SellerAmp app is variation specific except estimated sales and sales rank. So you're going to use the Keepa chart. When you scan a product, you're going to scroll down, use the Keepa chart. That's how you're going to gauge velocity. Get the manager a Starbucks. Yeah, exactly, Chris. That makes sense. Yeah, do some social engineering. If you can get in with those people, you can make $10,000 at the store if they like you enough. Like they will really give you crazy deals if the managers like you like that. Cool. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense too. Right there. Yeah, it's especially like any edge you can get that other people won't do is like the key. Sorry to ask, best sales rank for shoes under 100K? Yeah, Steph, for the most part, stay under 100K. Occasionally there'll be stuff with like maybe a little bit less variations that maybe you can see on Keepa is moving a lot for whatever reason it has a high rank. Right, the Keepa is going to be the overall velocity determinant. Sounds like the boys are getting a little rowdy in the court potentially. Right there, something just dropped in there. Wait, what is it?
I heard the Discord noti I was saying.
So yeah. Man, I have so many Discord notifications. I'm surprised that's the first one you heard. They usually
I heard a couple, but I like, especially in like the voice chat. I think the voice chats are lit on Discord because like anyone can just join that's in it, and it's like just a free for all. There's not really muting or anything either. That's us popping right here. Cool, guys. So we'll be on for like another 10 minutes or so. So keep the questions coming. And then make sure you follow Drew on Twitter and Instagram as well, right there, just at DrewFBA right there. What other sauce can we drop on the people? Okay, whether it be I got one. So some of the best money you can make in Q4 is going to be sourcing online at big retailers, Kohl's, Dick's, some of these retailers where JCPenney's, where they have a lot of retail locations, but you can source them online and see the stock counts that certain stores have, and then place pickup orders at certain stores and be able to pick stuff up same day, FBM at same day, or FBA at same day. Right, that's a big tip.
Yeah, and I don't even know if this is what people like to hear or not, but you can just make that order, list them FBM, go pick up what sells, and don't pick up what doesn't sell. Like,
yeah, well, definitely too, and that's that's some of the stuff where it's a little bit more advanced, similar to listing items FBM before they deliver to, where it's like you take on a little bit of additional risk, but like if you trust the source, you kind of know your area. If there's competition there, you can clean up on that stuff too. And also, like, the more you sell, the less a canceled order matters here and there, right? The less an order defect occasionally matters too. What is the maximum amount of times you've been denied for an ungate? 8 or 7 with Converse back in the day. How about you?
A lot. I mean, probably 10 plus. There's some ones I've just done over and over. I just try not to get even ungated anymore because I know it's more difficult now. So I'm like, I'll just figure it out later. Yeah,
especially like this time of year too. And that I'd say till about like maybe July was pretty easy, and it's just been a little bit more difficult. It's not to say that you guys shouldn't right there, but the first place you guys want to start with that is use the auto ungate list that's linked in the description right there. That legitimately, even if you're a brand new account, get you 100 plus things done today. Yeah, I can see someone downloaded it. Let's see. Yeah, okay, 6 minutes ago. Smart, whoever that was, they're probably in here, right? And that's going to get you auto-ungated in a bunch of stuff, and you just use receipts and invoices for the rest of that stuff. Yeah. Your content's helped me a lot in the past. Started a prep center a few months ago. Loved it. Cool. All right, that's love, Tyler. Yeah, man. If you're on socials, you should definitely get in the community. That'll be good for growing it right there. So how do you vet a prep center, Drew? Because I know that's something you're pretty good at right here. So how can the people vet their first prep center?
Your first one, I mean, that's going to be difficult because you don't really know, what happens. But really, you want to vet them after you sign up. Don't send too much stuff. Send, a certain amount of units, and then just see what's happened with those units. And take like super diligent track of what's happened with like the first 100 or the first 50, and you can pretty much like see, if there's a 7% error in your 100 units, then it's going to get really, really bad if you send 1,000. Like very likely, it's probably just going to get worse. So just get on with some, and then just see. Like how bad they mess up at the beginning. But yeah, these days there's so many prep sitters and they're so all over the place that it's difficult to just find trust off the bat. But like I said, just don't send too much stuff. It's not like they're going to do anything too bad.
Okay, so we gotta put the spotlight on the man right here, Aaron. So Drew, everyone needs to follow this guy on Twitter right here. You can just tell when someone has it in them, right? I'm putting a link. I'll private chat it to you, Drew, as well. Everyone go follow this man on Twitter. You can see it in his eyes. You can see it in the way he moves. You can see it in the dude's username is 0 Day Handling right there. You can just tell he's got the dog in him like that. Is there a way to get around websites not letting you stack coupons? Not really, unfortunately. Because like if they would allow, like it's all like an automated system that allows it.
Yep.
Yeah, bro, shipping out some FBM there too. How do you start sourcing when you start it? What's the start point? Yeah, so for you as a beginner, it's going to be products from big name brands, whether that be profitable ones you see in our videos, or just a Lego item, or a Nike item, or an Adidas product, Neutrogena product. That's where you're going to start. Eventually, you're going to use your own past items as a starting point to reverse source, and then eventually your favorite websites to manual source. But right now, you don't know your favorite websites yet, so it makes no sense. It's like you'd be kind of running in circles, basically. How to list the same item, FBA and FBM. Just create a separate SKU for it, Marcus. Honestly, that's actually some super sauce there too, because you get a ton of extra buy box share as well, which is awesome. And then, okay. So were you back in the day, were you FBM and all the pools and stuff?
Yeah, I didn't even know how to make an FBA shipment for a while. Yeah, I just FBM it all. But that stuff was easy because you didn't even have to pack it. You just slap a label on it.
Slap a label on it. Yeah. Fire. Does in-store pickup cause less order cancels? Yeah, I've like never really seen cancels happen on pickup orders like that. So yeah, you're good to go.
Yeah, the only way they cancel is if they literally didn't have the item, because you can just change all the information. It doesn't even matter because you're in store. You're not shipping anywhere.
Facts. Okay. Let's see. What's a good filter for KPF Under Armour? It was manual sourcing on their website. It seems like Amazon's on everything. Yeah, Jacob. So a good method for that is going to be just plugging in on KPF 0 to 100,000 rank, Amazon out of stock, and then pretty much from there, like you can do, even if you want to see like pretty vetted third-party seller items, do like an offer count minimum of like 3, and then maybe a maximum of like 20. Although there's not going to be a ton of super populated Under Armour products right there. So I think at the basics, just 0 to 100,000 rank, Amazon out of stock, 2 sellers minimum, 3 sellers minimum.
Yeah, Under Armour is one of those things too, which I mean, I haven't sourced it too much, but from what I've noticed, they do well when there's a big sale. So if you can go on their website and find, I saw something the other day where it was like $60 and there was a 50% coupon and then it applied an extra 20. Oh, it is right now? Okay.
Ladies and gents, yeah, he did. Jacob.
Sorry, I just dropped
they dropped you a major lob right there, 50% off right there. Yeah. What can I do if I don't have access to Keepa? You got to get it, man. That's what's on. To keep it a buck with you, man. You got to get that shit.
Like $22.
Yeah, you got to get it. And it's 17 euros. Right there. Dix will deliver with DoorDash. Yeah, that's actually some sauce too. Occasionally you place a Walmart.com order and that shit shows up like 2 hours later. You ever had that happen?
Yeah, I have. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Back in the day. I remember, dude, I was buying stuff and it got delivered in 2 hours.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. How do you guys know when to go deep on a product? So these days, Drew and I, obviously we have tons of experience, tons of context. A lot of these products we're going deep on, we've already sold. So for you guys as beginners, it doesn't make sense to buy a lot of something unless you've already sold a ton of it, in my opinion, just from a risk perspective. And then in the future, at the end of the day, we're buying data, right? So, you might go deep on a product that is a new item to you, but it's very similar data to something that's already done well. If you already see those patterns, that's going to give you that confidence.
100%. Yeah. And that, like, I don't know what the exact number is. Somebody asked me this the other day of how much you'd invest in one product of your capital. So let's say you have 10 grand, like what's the most you'd spend on one thing? I think that number's 20%, 25% on the high end, because let's just say it all goes wrong. Like you don't want to wipe out 60% of your money. So have a number, whatever your risk tolerance is. Maybe it's 10%, maybe it's 40, but just don't go over that limit. So if you have 10K, don't go over your 30% or your 25%. And that makes that easy. Like you're never going to run out of capital unless you just do it all 4 times in a row, I guess. But
this Under Armour email confirmation, absolutely. Yeah, all big websites work, guys, as you know, and especially the brand website for somewhere right there. Cool. Okay, sweet. So I actually got some other stuff to do tonight. So I think we'll hop off for now. But where can the people follow you, Drew?
DrewFBA on Twitter and Instagram. Not extremely active, but if you message me, I might answer your question.
Oh, come on. You're around. No, you're around. I see. I see.
Take some time off, man. Take some time off. It's Q4.
Boom. Makes sense. Cool. Sweet. So thanks for coming on, man. Everyone go follow Drew. Right there. You're doing these streams, almost daily throughout the whole rest of the year, basically. Want to make sure everyone gets taken care of as much as possible. If you haven't already, check out the Merchant Fulfilled guide I posted 2 or 3 days ago. It's really, really applicable to this stuff. I think a lot of you guys should watch that. Get a lot of sauce right there. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.